welcome to VETPAW's live stream event. I'm Shay Peaton, an Executive Program Manager. I'm here with Founder and President of VETPAW, Ryan Tate.
Hey,
Today
everybody.
is day 3, and we're happy to have you all here in a collective effort towards conservation. Right now, we have a raffle live, and that raffle has 2 grand prizes. You'll be able to see a fundraise link in the feed, and you'll also be able to go to our website, vetpaw.org, and enter that raffle. We're going to go live with one of our guests here in a couple minutes, but first, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ryan Tate.
Thanks, Shay. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. We're veterans of war. We're not veterans of technology. Oh, so we lost the feed right there. So we're trying to get you guys in on Facebook or on Instagram as well, because all these things don't all link. So let's try that again. Here we go. Did that work? And anyways, we're going to be here discussing with Jason Flom later on in the podcast, or excuse me, the video. Lulu is the Rhino. I've got my Lulu shirt on today in support for this awesome children's book. So we're going to have Jason on to discuss this. Jason Flom, CEO of Lava Records, VETPAW board member. And before that, we're going to have Heather Gracie, who's been supporting us in Africa for a few years now. She's been out to Africa a couple times as well. And so we're going to talk to her about her experiences here in about 3 minutes time. So yeah, we're really looking forward to this, closing this thing out and getting it right so we can keep doing this in the future. And
Today we'll also be announcing door prizes for yesterday and today, and as well at the end of the broadcast we'll be announcing the grand prize winners to the raffle on 2 trips available, one being a wildlife experience in Tampa, Florida, and the other being a 10-day conservation experience in Africa with VETPAW. Stay tuned for that.
Both are going to be really awesome trips, and I'm going to do my best to make sure I'm on the safari trip.
We could rock, paper, scissors for it.
We can try. I'm going. Lynn will definitely go. He'll probably take it from both of us. The other thing we've got going on, we're going to be introducing a 9-line apparel line here in the next couple weeks.
Marine Corps Marathon?
For the Marine Corps Marathon, and support of the Marine Corps Marathon as well. So that's super exciting. 9-line's an incredible company, so we're super excited to be teaming up with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I had some amazing people reach out to me yesterday offering up their expertise and giving us items, like knives and things like that to raffle off. That's amazing. If you guys have any interest in doing that as well, we always entertain veteran businesses and
anybody that wants to support animals.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And we're gonna, like we had mentioned before, we're gonna keep doing these live feeds and streams so we can get better at it. But also, if you have these things if your company wants to donate something to raffle off, we'll be doing these things again in the future, and they're only going to get better. So feel free to reach out. Just because today's the last day on this doesn't mean we're not going to do it again in the future.
Yeah, I think we have about 30 seconds or so before our first guest is calling in, and we'll have to remotely answer them on.
Yeah, because none of this stuff's connected.
Yep.
I do also really quickly want to mention and give a shout out to our French supporters. VETPAW has a French nonprofit status and nonprofit organization that supports our foundation and our mission in Africa. So a huge shout out to Stefan and Jacques, who are our board members in France. I'm super excited about that. We'll have more news to come on that. And then, but yeah.
So you talk about Lulu the Rhino? We're going to give one of those away?
Yep, we are going to give a few of these away. We're actually going to give 5 of them away. We may not have all the raffle winners on this today. But John, if you can see this, go ahead and pull an additional 5 for the Lulu is a Rhino book. But yeah, if you haven't seen that yet, it's been on the Ellen Show. It's been on Dr. Phil. You name it, this book is everywhere. It's the most popular children's book out right now.
And who wrote that?
Jason Flom, and you're going to hear from him today. He's a VETPAW board member, donor, and supporter. He's been to Africa, so we're going to talk to him a little bit about what he's, his experiences with the team and what inspired him to write this book and get involved in rhino conservation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can add Heather in here.
How do we go about doing that?
I think we can do it right down here. Let me grab this. Oh. So while we're waiting, I would like to go into more detail on our grand prizes. The first grand prize we have available is a VIP trip to Tampa, Florida, on a wildlife experience with Zoo Tampa and Florida Aquarium. That's going to be an amazing trip. 4 days, 2 nights at the beach. 2 flights are included in that trip, and up to 6 tickets available for each day. Also, the 10-day conservation experience to Africa. It's a perfect way to combine your dream safari while making a difference for wildlife. And I mean, can't beat those two. Flights are not included in that, but everything from transportation and country to food is covered.
All right, here we go. All right, Heather, we're bringing you in. 1 second. All right, let's see if this thing works. Waiting for Heather.
It's bright as hell out here.
There we
Heather,
go.
how are you?
World. Hi.
How's it going?
I'm great. How's everybody?
Good. Where are you coming to us from?
Las Vegas. Lovely Las Vegas. Let me turn this up. I can't hear a damn thing, huh? Hello?
Hey, we got you. Can you hear us now?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. It looks beautiful there.
Thank you. I just woke up like 30 minutes ago.
Well, thanks for jumping on. We appreciate it as always.
You're welcome.
Heather's a good friend of ours and good friend of VETPAW, and we're super excited that she can get on and share some of her experiences with VETPAW that she's had with VETPAW. And first, just want to say, thanks for all the support you've given us. We appreciate it. And I guess you want to pump through some of these questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you guys hear me good?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're
we got
coming
you.
through loud and
Okay,
clear. Facebook, Twitter, you're not going to be able to get this picture from Instagram, but if you want to jump over to Instagram, you can see Heather live on Instagram with us. But let's jump into some questions. First, Heather, we'd like to ask, how did you hear about VETPAW, and how was your first experience with VETPAW in Africa?
How did I hear about VETPAW? Actually, it's through mutual friends. And then I finally met Ryan, and then the rest was history.
How was your first
Huh?
experience when you came over to Africa with VETPAW?
Oh my God, it was a dream. It was a dream. Just the energy there in Africa and the animals. Like, I love animals. I'm obsessed with all African or world planet wildlife. Period. But wow, what an experience. They're really doing their thing. They're really protecting the endangered. And
What was one of the most memorable moments you had?
oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but the most memorable moment. Oh, Ryan, you weren't there. I think you were on the computer when we went with Connor, and when me and Zoe went with Connor and what's the other guy's name? I forgot. There's so many out there. Oh, so anyways, we went because there was a drought. I have to send you the video. There was a drought, and so we had to manually feed the rhinos. So when we went, they already knew the voice, they already knew the sound of the engine and everything. So they come running up to us, and as I'm feeding the mother, hand feeding the mother and her daughter, the one that has the bullet hole in her head, right?
Yeah.
Or
RC1.
The male bull that you guys just transferred on runs up, turns around, and just pisses. It takes a giant pee, but it's so loud. It's so loud that it stopped everything and made the mom and the girl like run. It was hysterical.
That's communicating for sure.
So we actually have that footage. So you have to. And then the other female comes around on the other side of the truck and does the same thing. It was just a giant interruption, but my most memorable moments was that. And I still haven't gotten chased by broken tusks.
That's not a good thing. So we have an elephant.
Chase me.
There's an elephant called Broken Tusk that Heather's referring to, and he has a broken tusk. A lot of people don't realize, but that tusk is actually connected to nerves up in the membranes in the animal's head. So they can feel that. It's kind of like ripping a molar out of your mouth when you chip off a tusk. And so, needless to say, he's pretty angry when he sees anybody, and he likes to chase people. But
he's funny. He won't do anything though. He'll wait for you to drive by. Like, okay, bye. As soon as you pass him, all hell breaks loose.
You know what the best part about that animal is? Strati, who's friends with Heather and Zoltan as well, and has been out to Africa with us. Like, I don't know, the guy, you can't pull him out of the bush. He just, it's incredible.
Yeah.
He still hasn't seen, all the time he's spent in Africa with us, he still hasn't seen Broken Tusk, and I love that. I think it's hilarious. It's a game of cat and mouse, so.
Yeah, but I absolutely love Africa. The energy there, everything. The animals, they really need us. They need us tremendously. I'm just grateful for VETPAW.
How has it been working with veterans and helping the organization and being a part of the board and really kind of getting your hands dirty in terms of the organization?
It's been great. I'm actually honored to do exactly whatever I can for VETPAW. Forever, as long as I can, to get them connected with everybody. The UFC, we had them, do a fundraiser for UFC. UFC did a fundraiser for VETPAW, excuse me, and we are going to continue doing that. There's some setbacks and everything, obviously, with the coronavirus, so everyone's on hold with that. But anything I can do, I have the power to do, I will. I really believe in them. They're awesome people. They're the truth. They're what the world needs to help save the endangered species everywhere.
That's great, Heather. It really is.
Whether it's elephants, rhinos, whales, anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because as awesome as this organization has become, because of the people within it, like yourself, the ultimate goal with this organization, and I don't think you'll find this with too many other organizations, but the ultimate goal is that there is no VETPAW. There's no VETPAW. It means that veterans have an outlet for their skills, and wildlife doesn't need protection from militarized organizations. And we're a conservation organization, but it's military skills that we're transferring. And it's kind of sad when you think about why we're there, but as you said,
I know it's sad, but it's unfortunately it's necessary.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I can't wait to go back. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to go back.
You should jump on one of the trips with us. I think we're there in August, September.
Yeah.
Team's there full time, obviously, but I know that Ryan and I will be there.
Maybe I'll make that happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be back as soon as I'm allowed to, with these restrictions. But
right.
we were already.
Yeah, we've been having the itch to get over there, and especially some of our guys who were in transit to go over there, and then were stopped before the international flight. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know it's just hell right now.
But once it gets inside of you.
How are the babies doing now out there? How's all the animals?
They're doing really good. There's babies popping out all over the place. They finally got some rain, which is nice. The team's doing really good, all things considered. I mean, I think they're just happy they're not stuck in the United States under lockdown. their lockdown is,
Yeah.
they still get to go out and be with the animals.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
So they're like rubbing it in our face daily.
We actually had an experience group that was set to go out, and we talked about it yesterday with Susie, and they got stopped like 2 weeks before they were supposed to go, and they were saying, "Dang, I wish that we were, quarantined with VETPAW in Africa." And I was like, "Me too."
Yeah.
This is
Everybody wish they were quarantined.
lesson learned.
In
Lesson
Africa.
learned. Yeah. With
Yeah.
elephants and rhinos, but no, it's doing good. Everybody's doing great. All the new species that the reserve has introduced into the wild are doing well. The team's taking care of the village who's under lockdown. The villagers can't go to town to get groceries and things like that, so the team stepped up. Trevor, Justin, Mike, and Connor and Gabriel, Aaron, they've all stepped up, gone into the village or gone into the town because they have passes to get into the village or into the town. But they bought groceries and hygiene items, water, and they're making sure that the village is taken care of. Yeah. So yeah,
That's nice.
it's going
That's
well.
awesome. It is so
So
bright
they've
out
been
here.
to the new room?
What's that?
So they've been to the new room?
No, she hasn't yet. So we gotta get you up
No,
there.
I want to go. I'm so jealous. Listen. I'm so jealous. I want to go so bad. Oh my gosh.
I just got back in February. I
I
didn't want
probably
to
won't
leave.
come back. I
Yeah,
probably won't come back.
exactly.
I'll just have Tonka transferred to Africa and then just stay there.
Heather, you had an album that came out recently, right? Or a single?
It was a single.
You can put it on
I had a few. I'm actually working on a new one. It's going to be a little heavier sounds. That's going to release, I believe, depending, within the next 6 weeps.
Cool.
So it's always like 6 weeks.
And can
6
people
weeks.
find that? They can find it on iTunes, DJ Grace
They can
Gracie.
find it, I don't have it doesn't have a name yet.
Well, what about the
And,
old
yeah.
stuff? How do they find your older music?
All my music you can find on all platforms: iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Deezer. You can find it anywhere.
What's
Cool.
your Instagram IG link?
Grace, it's
Oh,
Grace.
it's Grace Gracie World.
Grace Gracie World. You can follow
And
Grace
the
Gracie
link
World.
the link is actually in the bio.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
follow Heather Gracie, and you can also follow VETPAW along her journey with us as well, and her music career as well. So we're
can't
glad to
wait
have
come
you.
back.
Yeah, no, we'll have to
Yeah.
do another one of these when you come back out to Africa. We'll
Oh,
do it
yeah,
live
absolutely.
so people can really get the energy that you're feeling and everything
Yeah.
that you're experiencing. So,
But yeah.
well, Heather, we're super excited that you could join us. We really appreciate it as always. You've been amazing for this organization, and everything that you've done for us is, I don't have words to really put it together and show you,
Thank you.
but we're incredibly grateful for you and everything you've done for us. And, we've got your back always.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We got yours too, all the time.
And the team sends their best. I do want to share my favorite memory of Heather Gracie in Africa, and it's
Oh shit.
so I come out of one of the huts that we have, one of the rondavels, and I look over and it's Heather. Literally, it's you picture her walking a dog, except picture a drone in the air, right, like 5 to 10 feet in front of her, and she's following the drone around like it's a dog in the air, like she's walking a dog. It's amazing. Just walking through the bush with a drone and just following it. It was pretty funny. That was my
That's
personal
awesome.
favorite.
Thank goodness I didn't walk into a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, yeah. Thank goodness I didn't walk into a damn tree.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
one last thing?
Yes.
For those that are considering being a donor to VETPAW and supporting VETPAW, what would you say is the most important thing they should know about what we do and why they should transition into becoming a supporter?
Why they should support VETPAW? Because VETPAW basically is one of the only sources of boots on the ground to help stop poachers dead in their tracks. They investigate, they find out where they're at, how, who, what, when, where, how, and why with all the crime, and stop it to help preserve the conservation of wildlife, pretty much,
Yeah.
It's so important to be a part of this and help others be aware of what's happening in Africa, no matter how gruesome the videos are. Like, people have to know, because if people don't know what's really happening and the work that VETPAW is putting in there, like, they have to be a part of it, and it's a lot of work. You guys have to, the funding, it's to even keep the vets there and to feed the animals during a drought. Like, all these things play a role, not just with poaching, but now you have the poachers that are psychotic and won't stop, and then you have droughts. So it's just terrible. We all need to step up and do our part as human beings for this planet.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up as well. A lot of people think that Africa is, they think of the Lion King, or these vast, wide open spaces, and they are vast, wide open spaces.
Yeah.
But as humans continue to grow, fences go up to reduce human-wildlife interactions, and so as those fences go up, it prevents those animals from, being migratory for the rainfall. So like places like Kruger National Park, which is larger than Israel, has a fence around it, and nobody knows that. And so it's funny too when you see some of these younger NGOs that are working in other places in Africa where the fences aren't quite there yet, but there's not a lot of wildlife yet, and they make these comments like, oh, they don't quite understand. The more south you go in Africa, the more complex conservation gets, and it's not a zoo at all. It's a massive tens of thousands of acreage and hectares. But there are fences, and when those droughts kick in, humans do have to come in. We created those fences. Not VETPAW, but we collectively as human beings, because of our growth, we put these fences up, and there's a need for fences because of us. So what do we have to do in order to save a species? We have to supplement that feed. And so VETPAW, some of your donations go into feeding animals when there is drought, and these droughts can last for decades sometimes. It's crazy. But I'm really glad that you brought that up, because you've seen firsthand how complex conservation is, especially in South Africa. So, but that's part of the experience program. If you sign up, if you go on our website, once this COVID-19 is done and gone, and these travel restrictions come up, you can have the same exact experience as Heather has every time she comes out. And possibly you might even be there when she's there. You never know, because it sounds like she'll be back.
It's important, though. It's important that it gets knowledge is power. It's very important for people to see it for themselves. Not like we're not asking the whole world to go to Africa, but for the ones that are really serious, it's very important, so they can spread the word to other people that are extremely serious and willing to and really want to make a change and help save the animals on this planet, because at this point it's just getting ridiculous.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And again, if you want to have that experience that Heather had, you can go on our website, sign up for more information. Every penny goes back into the program, goes back into protecting these animals, and we're going to be starting that program up as soon as this is over. We've got groups ready to go.
We have 2 groups ready to go, and we have another 3 scheduled out through the end of the year.
Yeah, so we're ready to fill slots. We've got an amazing new house. You're going to be super excited to see the house, Heather. It's really come together.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Did you transfer all my things?
Yes.
All my African gear.
Yeah, Heather and Zoltan left their bags there because they come out so much. So I towed it back and forth. So the guys pulled it out of their locker and over to the new house.
I think I saw a cobra in one of your bags.
A what?
A cobra?
Spitting cobra.
Oh, sure. You probably saw that damn, what's that firecracker thing? the thing that runs around like this. It's hot red. It's a spider.
The little ones the little red things that are crawling all over.
Keep that away from me.
To be chased by that thing, I'd rather be chased by a gorilla.
Oh, by the way, this is actually an interesting story. Matt Kunkel, who is on our team, and he's actually back in the Army right now, actually got gored by a buffalo earlier this year. Now, you guys all stay safe, but he was fixing an electrical fence, and there was somebody else supposed to be watching his back, and this buffalo came around. And thank God he is, a monster of a human being, and just
wrestled a buffalo for over an hour, 2 hours.
No,
crazy.
No, 2 minutes.
No. I'm saying he was in the engagement with that buffalo for over an hour.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what they told the doctor at the hospital. The hospital doctor was like, no way that happened because he'd be dead.
Well, he's got puncture wounds.
He would
Yeah,
be dead.
he's
That's
fine
like
though.
his,
We want
I
everybody
would
to
be
know
dead.
that he's okay, he's recovered, he's good to go, he's back in the military, active duty again. Square
Yeah.
away.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Well, shout
I
out
would.
to him.
It's or you know that picture in dodgeball with what's his name? The main guy in dodgeball. Yeah, and he's of global
holding
gym
the
with
board, horns.
with holding the horns of the buffalo. He's got to get that tattooed on his back. I think it'd be great.
That's funny. All right.
Well, Heather, we appreciate the time, and we'll see you soon. Lauren and I are going to head out to see you guys here as soon as all this is done. But
Okay.
we appreciate the time, and again, if you guys want to have the experience that Heather, is talking about, go on our website and sign up. And thank you again for everything.
I'll also keep everyone updated on my upcoming trip back to Africa, obviously, and then we can go from there. Maybe we can do someone can win a trip.
Sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, be great. All right, Heather, we appreciate your time, and you know where to find us.
Tell Zoltan we said hey.
All right. Bye.
That tells Zoe said hey. We'll see you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. How you hang this thing up?
We're trying to figure out the same thing.
I have no
Did
idea.
I hit the axe?
Let me
Oh, there
see.
we go.
You got it? Did it work?
Yep.
Hey, Todd Price, thank you so much. Happy birthday. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate your generosity very much.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and announce the door prize winners from yesterday and today, since we missed yesterday's. Or I'll just do all 3 days just in case somebody missed it. So I'm gonna do T-shirt from the first day is Mary Bell. Hat from the first day is Tajir Gorsman. Sorry if I messed your name up. The coffee is Kim Kalu Jones. Yesterday's winners for a T-shirt is Mandy Barak. Hat is Mike George. Coffee is Sherry Lacone. And today's winners for T-shirt is Deborah Hall. Hat Vienna Katana. And coffee William Hale. You guys are winning, and you'll have some VETPAW gear coming your way. Also, right now, live, we have a raffle for team gear, hats, shirts, VETPAW coffee that you can get on alphacoffee.com, or soon you'll be able to get it on our website as well, and 2 grand prizes on that raffle. So if you jump on board, we'll be picking a winner here in about 20 minutes if you've missed out already. Yeah, if you guys like this shirt that I'm wearing currently, you can also sign up for the Marine Corps Marathon this year. That will be October 24th, I believe.
25th, yeah. And
Okay.
then we got the expo on the 23rd and 24th.
Okay, 25th is the actual day of the event.
Yeah, honestly, if you've never run a marathon and you've been thinking about it, this is the marathon to run. It is an experience like no other. Last year was my first time attending. I didn't run it. I've got a screwed up knee. I'm going to keep using it as an excuse as long as I can until Lynn Westover, Director of Operations, forces me to run it, which might happen this year. But I will be there again this year. My wife and I are coming out. This is going to be an annual thing for us. We've got an awesome team of people. I've been to the New York Marathon and several others, and this one is just incredible.
There's also, did you say 10? You can run 10K.
It's super emotional. You can run the 10K. We have an ultra marathon option as well. We had
you can also come out and support. We do we do the expo beforehand as well.
we had a lot of Recon Sniper Foundation guys out running with us last year, Team RSF. So that was cool. And their endurance team is going to be running with us again this year. So if you're interested in learning about that and you didn't catch it on this, and you can reach out to us on social media or info@vetpaw.org.
And there is a Facebook runners group as well, for a VETPAW Facebook runners
Sure.
group.
Lynn or Mark, if you're watching, could you just post the link into the Instagram feed for people? We've got a lot of people asking about how to enter today's raffle. So if you could just copy and paste that in there, that'd be great. Also, today we're going to be raffling off the ticket or the trip to Tampa, the Tampa Zoo and Aquarium. It is incredible, VIP trip, and then 2 days at Clearwater Beach as well in Florida. once this virus is up. It'll be an incredible
It's
trip.
good for a year as well.
Yeah, it's good for a year. How many people get to go on that?
Well, I have up to 6 tickets each day. I can always ask for a couple more if you're bringing a larger family, but VETPAW is going to take care of 2 of the round trip tickets for you on that.
The flights. So
Yep.
we are going to take care of the flights. And then we're also going to raffle off the experience program.
Yeah,
Is that for 2 people we're doing?
that is for 2 people.
2 people on the experience program in Africa, 10 days.
Good for a year.
Your travel to Africa, the flights are not covered. So you just have to cover that. But your safari experience, your game drives, your food, your lodging, everything is covered. I mean, if I were to put value to it and compare it to what other people offer, I would say this is a trip that's worth well over $10,000
Absolutely.
USD.
Yeah. And what can you get for it if you want to book outside the raffle?
If you want to book outside the raffle, I mean, you can go on our website to our experience page and sign up there, inquire for information, and we'll send it back to you. But you don't just bump into tourists on this reserve. It's invite only, so you're not sitting in traffic jams where the wildlife are. You're not, bumping into people and hearing people in the bush. You are literally your group is the only ones there. So the other 6 people that are on that experience are the only people there. I mean, that to me is the coolest thing.
And you'll be with the VETPAW team working daily on monitoring animals, taking data on animals, especially the Black Rhino project we have running right now. That data goes out to multiple universities and multiple NGOs. And we're trying to repopulate a species here, and we're moving rhinos from very dangerous areas onto reserve that is protected by veterans and our rangers under us.
Yep. The other thing is if we're doing a veterinary procedure, you can get involved with that, assuming nothing intense. But we do a lot of rhino notchings where we notch the ears. So that way in the distance, our team can tell which rhino is which, because we keep total accountability over every single rhino on the property, both black and white rhinos.
And this is our sustainability program, guys. So this program keeps our organization running smoothly year round, and so that's another way that you can support. And you'll be in the bush tracking animals. It's amazing.
And somebody else just asked how we can enter. So if somebody can just paste that link up there, that'd be great. We're going to give these trips away every now and then when we do these live stream events.
Yep.
But there is a link. Do you have that link?
I can.
Maybe John can paste it up for you guys.
John, paste that link up for us.
In the meantime, we've got a little bit of time before Jason jumps on, and he's welcome to jump on at any time. But we're going to discuss Lulu as a rhino. It's also on my shirt. I'm not wearing my VETPAW shirt today. So one really cool thing that I love about this book, and I read the whole thing and get all the way to the back before my wife pointed this out to me. But it's super cool if you go from the author, from Jason Flom himself. The book is dedicated to VETPAW, among several other people, including his children and several other people that helped out with the book. But it was really cool to have Jason in Africa that first time. It's just, I can't even explain watching Jason see it. Yeah, you were there. But seeing Jason see rhinos for the first time, which I'll tell you is his spirit animal, was so powerful. Oh, by the way, there's the link. Zach just posted it up. So that's for the experience program, not for the actual raffle. But if you want to get information on the experience program, you can click the link that Zach just posted. I'll take you right to our website.
Yeah, absolutely. I just messaged Jason a couple seconds ago, so he should be jumping on here soon. Ryan, is there any operations or anything you want to get into? Oh, we could announce we did have a pretty amazing donation on the first day.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So after our first broadcast, where we're all new to it. We're all veterans. We're not tech guys. We don't have anybody behind the scenes running this other than another veteran who's trying to figure it out as we're going. So, but after the first day, I had a call from one of our donors, and she has donated a mobile command vehicle to VETPAW. She wants to name it after her, so we're going to name it after her. And we just wanted to say thank you, Barbara, for that. And we truly appreciate you and everything you do for animals as well.
And we're going to come see you in Jackson Hole. I want to see these moose.
Yeah.
Your moose
absolutely.
friends. It's... Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's another thing. Lynn just chimed in, our director of operations. He wants you guys to know that when we do the marathon, we do have door prizes for those that. Oh, let's see. Is Jason ready to go? Yep. Here we go. Alrighty. Should be. Says waiting for Jason. There we go. What's up, Jason?
What's up, Jason?
Just growing my hair. There's nowhere to get a haircut, so
I got a barracks cut yesterday or 2 days ago.
This June Fro thing is out of control.
It looks good on you, Jason.
So I want to introduce to everybody Jason Flom. He is the CEO of Lava Records. The guy has, signed Katy Perry, Lorde, Twisted Sister, Kid Rock, you name it. This guy is a music legend. But he's a legend for more than just music. He is a VETPAW board member. He's done a lot for us. He's the author of Lulu's a Rhino. And then he is also a board member for the Innocence Project and the host of Wrongful Convictions podcast. If you haven't seen that podcast, it is one of the top podcasts in the world. And we'll get to that here shortly because I think people need to hear about that important mission. But first, Jason, how's it going?
It's going great. Considering the world is coming apart at the seams, but other than that, everything's fine. I'm in my gilded cage, so I can't complain.
Cool. So, Jason, I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about your first experience in Africa. Well, first of all, how did you? Yeah, there you go. I actually have a shirt for you that I have to send out. Lawrence, it's been sitting on my desk, and Lawrence like, you need to mail this to Jason. But sorry, babe.
I'm ready.
Jason, how did you find out about VETPAW and what makes VETPAW special to you enough to support?
I think I found out about it when I sat next to you at a lunch the first time, right? And, I just heard your story. I thought your story was so incredible. How the whole organization started and your history in the military. And I just thought, wow, this is, a win-win-win. You got military veterans who are using the skills that we taxpayers, Americans, helped fund so they could become trained in these, amazing skills that you possess as a scout, sniper, everything else. And then, you're putting these guys to work in a way that actually, utilizes and gives meaning to the training that they had, then saving us an entire species or more than one, right? The rhinos for starters. And, breaking up poaching rings, which of course has all those benefits to it as well, because we know that they're involved in such, nefarious things besides just killing the animals.
Yeah.
And then also protecting the African rangers who are over there risking their lives every day. That's just, you don't get too many opportunities. Obviously, you get hit up by so many great charities around the world. There's not too many where you see that direct impact in so many different ways.
Yeah, that's a valid point because a lot of people just think it's the animals that are getting taken out, but there's so many park rangers who are also dying at the hands of these increasingly militarized poachers. It's not just, some guy that's trying to feed his family that's going out there to poach an animal to put the meat on the table or for the money. These are highly criminalized networks that are also trafficking people, guns, drugs, you name it. It's a top 5 international crime. And wildlife trafficking. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Somebody's just asking a question that I wanted to ask you actually, which is, have you seen a rise in poaching since, with China promoting the medicine to cure COVID? Of course, here we have the evil orange clown telling people they should inject Clorox into their veins. So, I don't know which one's crazier, but, at least Clorox isn't killing rhinos to the best of my knowledge. But yeah, that's something I've been worried about is with this, the tourism having, fallen off. Obviously, there's no tourism. There's more incentive now for people who might otherwise not consider it to say, I'm going to go kill a rhino because I can make a few bucks.
Well, there's that, and then you've got people that are thinking that rhino horn will help cure COVID-19 now, and it's a lose-lose, for those on the ground protecting these animals. as you said, tourism is a huge industry. It's still relatively untapped as a whole, but it's a huge industry, especially for some of these private reserves who, their livelihoods depend on these animals. And now there's even more pressure mounted. They don't have the money that's provided to them by tourism. And now there's more pressure by poachers who, because of COVID-19, there's a spike in the rhino, or a so-called spike in rhino horn trade. So yeah, it's a serious problem. A lot of these reserves don't have the money to do this, and then the communities around these reserves depend on the reserve for work, and they don't have work now.
No, they cut staff.
They're cutting staff everywhere. So VETPAW is doing our best to provide groceries for those villages and kind of fill that gap. But that's a very good question. I appreciate you noticing that, because the phone's a little far away from me.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, Jason, what was that first experience in Africa with us like?
Oh my God, it was amazing. It's one of the only experiences in life that I know of that actually is better than the hike, because you get people coming back from these safaris like they've seen, they've seen the light, and it actually is true. When I was over there, it was a real adventure for starters. The first 24 hours I was there, I put on my Instagram, and my Instagram, by the way, is it's Jason Flom for people who want to follow me. But the first 24 hours I was there, we got lost in a helicopter, and then accosted by three guys armed, strapped in the bush.
Oh, you guys I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then then I remember the helicopter, because the helicopter pilot was running out of gas because he was lost. and then we end up in this reserve, and we get charged by a bull elephant the first day we were there, and I was like, oh my God. And the funny thing is, when you're in Africa, you tell somebody these stories, and they look at you like,
what's wrong with you?
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
TIA.
This is Africa.
This is Africa. Nobody's impressed by that, So, but things after that were it was magical. Getting to be up close and personal with the closest thing we have to dinosaurs, which I think, was obviously rhinos, is the most magical experience that I think, I can imagine. It's just, I've had I've had a lot of great experiences. I realized how lucky I am in life, but there's nothing that can even compare to being able to actually get to touch. And, I got to hug and kiss a rhino, it's like insane. And, it was funny because I learned when we were there, we got to hang out with some of the orphan rhinos.
Oh.
It was funny because I asked, what do I need to know? Like, everybody knows you don't stand behind a horse, right?
Yeah.
And one thing they said was, don't go down to give them, to touch them. Like,
they'll headbutt you.
Lift their head.
Yeah.
They'll knock your head off. Not because they want to, but just because they're clumsy. So, but yeah, it was amazing.
Did they go to the same?
Warren and Shiva, man, I'll never forget them.
If you ever want to see a large man extremely uncomfortable, as much as he loves rhinos, Shay is petrified of wild animals coming close to him. So we had this one rhino orphaned, God
Warren.
bless him, but Warren, and because Shay is the largest human around him, he followed Shay everywhere. So if Shay had his back turned, he had a horn just pressing into his butt the whole time. Everywhere he walked, it was incredible.
And then they wanted me to feed a cheetah, and I'm like, no way. Ryan's like, come on, man.
It was a three-legged cheetah. He lost his leg because he got hit by a car, which is another reason that fences are coming up everywhere. But Jason, do you want to?
I brought a little friend with me too. See that?
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go.
I got it.
Speaking of which, do you want to give us a rundown on Lulu and how awesome this book is, and what kind of inspired you to write it? And here it is for everybody.
Well, basically, it's pretty straightforward. I came back from Africa after having this magical experience, and I was sitting on the couch with my bulldog Lulu, and I was telling her about my trip. Because let's face it, we all talk to our dogs, and she looks me right in the eye and goes, well, I'm a rhinoceros too. I was like, what are you talking about? You're obviously a dog. You're small and furry and you're on my couch. And she says, can't you see? She goes, I have short legs, a big body, a flat head. She goes, I only run fast for short distances and I'm clumsy. And she says, and I burp and snore and fart like a rhino. I'm a rhino. So I was like, well then, shit, let's tell the story, So I thought if we could create a little hero for kids who feel left out or put down or bullied because the way they look, the way they feel, the way they are, let's do that. And so
Love that.
I got my daughter involved because she's an actual writer. I don't know how to write anything, so but I knew what I wanted the cover to look like, which is exactly that. And I knew that I knew how the story should start. I knew how it should end, but I didn't know what the middle should be. So I got Allison involved, and we wrote this book. We self-published it, and sure enough, it sort of took off, and it's been really gratifying. I know I've heard from so many parents and people that told me that it's had a really profound is a strong word, but it's had a profound impact on some kids who really needed that. Who needed a little hero that stands up for herself, who knows who she is, who gets bullied and gets goes through misplaced empathy and people like ignoring her and everything else, and then and then she at the end she perseveres and she stands up for herself and she wins, and so it's I'm really, really proud of it. The second book is almost finished, and I don't think I told you this, but we have an animated TV series in the works based on.
I do remember you saying that. Yes, I'm super excited about that. That's going to be a hit for sure. And I think that is cool. I do want to mention that you co-wrote this with your daughter, Allison. So that's a cool story in itself. The fact that you two came together, put your heads together, and created such a powerful and impactful book. You can buy this on Amazon, by the way. The proceeds, some of the proceeds go to support AWF, and you can find VETPAW in the back. I was in chills and in tears when I saw that you mentioned VETPAW and dedicated
I
to VETPAW.
it to you guys because it's you guys inspire me. And hi Yaz, by the way, my friend Yaz is amazing yogi among other things, and she has 2 bulldogs, and so she just checked in. So I'm just saying hi to her. But yeah, so it's exciting. The book's available on Amazon, wherever you want to order your books at. And I hope you, if you have some little ones at home, or even if you don't, somebody who has one, it's I'll give you a money back guarantee. And and we should do something too. I mean, we'll do more stuff obviously for VETPAW down the road, whether it's autographed books or we'll do something with a TV show or whatever it's going to be.
Cool. We're going to give 5 of these away today as well. John, if you want to pick those 5 winners for us and send them over to Shay, we're going to give those away in a little bit. Jason, do you want to take a second to for everyone that's listening? By the way, this is going live on Twitter, Facebook, and everywhere else outside of Instagram right now.
YouTube as well.
YouTube. Do you want to tell everybody about the Innocence Project and Wrongfully Convicted that in your work with those programs as well?
Sure, I'll do it quick because I see a lot of people are asking really, really important questions, really intelligent questions. So I don't want to keep you guys from answering those questions. I think it's important, but so the work I do with the Innocence Project is my other main focus. Trying to reform our criminal legal system and try to help stem the tide of these horrible injustices that happen every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. I mean, as the expression goes. And so I started this podcast called Wrongful Conviction just to teach people to tell the stories, the human stories of people who were sentenced to life in prison or death for crimes they didn't commit, and most of whom were proven innocent already and are out. We had a guy get out last year after 46 years. Richard Phillips was a big story about him on CNN yesterday. But these stories are incredible. These human beings are incredible. They've been to hell. They've seen the worst that there is to see, and they're back. We also, sometimes I go inside prisons, can't go there now because of COVID, but I interview people who I know are innocent, who we want to get attention brought to their stories. And it's it's really it's a labor of love for me. I wish it didn't have to be done. But I think the more we can do to educate the public as to how these wrongful convictions happen, mistaken eyewitness identification, junk science, you have incompetent defense attorneys in many cases. Unfortunately, you have people lying across the board. There's just so many different causes of these wrongful convictions, and of course, when it happens, the real perpetrator remains free. So you have a guy, man or woman, going to prison for a rape or murder or violent crime, and once these prosecutors get tunnel vision and just decide that you did it, and we're just going to make the facts fit the case, and jailhouse snitches, we talk about that. The fact, everybody knows you can't bribe a witness, right? But the government can. And they can lie to you in the interrogation. We have a whole season now on false confessions as well. And there's, believe it or not, 25%, around 25% of the DNA exonerations we've had involve people who falsely confess to the crime. And that's the most maddening thing, because no one can understand. Everyone thinks they would never do that, but everybody has a breaking point. And when you hear these stories, you'll find out exactly how they manipulate these people, sometimes without even using physical violence or even the threat of physical violence, but psychological torture that you endure in that tiny interrogation room is designed to break you down. And ironically, military people are the most likely to confess to a crime they didn't commit. Military people in adolescence, and the psychologists theorize that that's because many military people are accustomed to, obeying authority figures. And so they feel like, I just finished reading that book, The Wrong Guys, about the Norfolk four guys in the Navy who all falsely confessed to a crime they didn't commit, and two of them ended up believing that they actually did it. These guys twisted their head around so much that they actually thought that they had done the crime, and maybe they just blacked out. But they didn't. DNA proved it. There was a confession from the actual killer. I mean, so
that's wild.
Anyway, the podcast is I said I was going to be short, and I wasn't.
No, you're good.
So yeah, the podcast is called Wrongful Conviction.
It is.
It's been as high as number 3 on the charts. You can find it just
click in the comments section. It's right there if you're on Instagram. Wrongful Convictions. It's incredible. You've had some pretty, well-known guests on your show too, and it's. I mean, I tagged along and got to meet Ndaba Mandela, Nelson Mandela's grandson. That was incredible. What a cool experience. I mean, the whole show it's awesome. So, Jason, I can't thank you enough for all the incredible things you're doing. And one last question for you. And we're not in a hurry.
Susie 2268 said Wrongful Conviction podcast is the best. Well, thank you very much. And you're making me blush.
I gotta introduce you to Susie too. She's a huge supporter of ours, and she loves Jason Flom. She loves everything that you do, and you're gonna love meeting Susie. She's hosted a couple fundraisers for us, so I make that happen. But what's the most important thing someone should know who is considering donating to VETPAW?
I think the most important thing you should know is that it's now or never. I mean, we are in a moment in history where we can lose what I believe to be the most iconic species that we have on this planet. And once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, we just lost the southern white rhino, right? Is it northern or southern white rhino?
Northern.
The northern white rhinos they're done, right? So it's like, I mean, we cannot leave this planet to our children where all they can do is read about these animals in history books or see videos of them or whatever, and never have that experience that that I had, that you guys have, and that so many others have been blessed to experience. So yeah, I think look, it's tough times now for everyone. But if you have anything to spare, I think we need to do this. Like I said before, it's too late. And in the process, like I said, your dollar goes a long way because of the fact that it is empowering, heroes like you guys. That I think everybody wants to help our veterans, except sometimes it seems like our government's not so interested. But they should be. My dad was a veteran, and but it blows my mind, and the things intersect because we have so many military veterans in prison in America for things like drugs and people who really just need help, and instead we lock them up and brutalize them. So yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, I don't know where else you can go to take your dollars and have them be so transformative, so profoundly transformative, and to help our veterans, help a species, and help that species then help to drive the tourism and everything else that makes Africa thrive. So yeah, I think that's basically that's my pitch.
Think about that. There's 3 common things that you see on baby blankets: elephants, rhinos, dinosaurs. If we're not careful, all 3 of those will be dinosaurs.
Yeah,
wow.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
it's wild. So, well, Jason, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for everything you've done for us. I mean, Jason, I've got your back. Anytime you ever need it, you've always caught mine. Thank you for the friendship. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything that you do for the world. This is one of those guys that when you die one day, you don't have to look back on your life and wonder if you made a difference, because you did, and you made a huge one. So thank you for everything that you do for everyone.
Right on, thanks. You're embarrassing me, but I appreciate it, and love you guys, and thanks everybody for tuning in and
Good to
support
see you.
VETPAW, and buy Lulu as a rhinoceros.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
There it is.
And I'll see you on the next one.
All right, Jason,
Thanks
we
for
love you. We'll
supporting,
talk to you
Jason.
soon.
Later, guys. Right
All
back
right.
at you.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty.
That's awesome. So I should have some raffle winners coming in here soon. Let me go ahead and double check on that. Ryan, if you
I'll go ahead and answer some questions. I
Yep.
saw a question pop up. What happens to the link that was posted on IG doesn't work? Okay, well, we will get that fixed. What's up, Jim? Good to see you, bud. How's married life treating you? I do want to say I saw the comment about what happens to the staff that's being laid off because of the shutdown in Africa and things like that. I'll say this: all of our veterans were given the opportunity by their team leaders to come home to be with family if they felt the need to do so, with no penalty, nothing like that. I mean, it's a serious issue, and you have to respect that. But every single one of our veterans said, we are going to stay in Africa. This is our job. These veterans are our life, and they're still standing strong on that reserve to put their lives, the lives of rhinos before anything else. And I have just the utmost gratefulness to them and their dedication. It's just like you see in the military. They're dedicating their lives again for others and for the well-being of others. Guys, besides donating, is there anything else I can do to help? Sure, spreading awareness is amazing. We do need things like flashlights, binoculars, trail cameras. Trail cameras are a huge help to us. It helps us keep accountability over our animals. It helps us study their movements. The more information we can gather from wildlife, the more information we can provide to subject matter experts within conservation. So if you have things like trail cameras, we also need things like actual DSLR cameras for our team to be able to, long-range lenses, things like that. That really helps our team in the bush. So if you've got an old nice camera that you've upgraded from, that's sitting there collecting dust in the closet, you've been thinking about selling it, if you donate it to us, we can give you a tax deduction for that. And just so you know, everything that's donated is 100% tax deductible, and you can receive a letter for that. Our address also, if you want to donate any gear, is listed on our website. You ready to do some raffles?
Yeah, I have the Africa winner. I'm waiting on the Zoo Tampa winner right now. I'm ready. All right, you guys ready? The Zoo Tampa Aquarium, Florida Aquarium Beach Experience, 2 round trip tickets for 2 is Deborah Heatherly. Deborah, congratulations. We'll make sure we send some info to you on that. And the Africa winner, you want to take care of that?
Why? Because you can't pronounce the last name.
No.
Congratulations, Deborah. That's incredible. By the way, Tampa's our hometown, so you're gonna have a great time. Plus, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski are there now, so had to throw that out there. All right, so the winner of the Africa trip for 2, accommodations, your food, experience, everything, the most amazing trip you'll ever go on is Carl Rybaki, Rybaki.
If we pronounce that wrong, we're sorry.
Yeah, I apologize. I'll get it right, and I'll try to be there in Africa so I can say it to you face to face the correct way. You can teach us both how.
So everybody that has won a prize, I'll be contacting you directly after this. I also have a couple other raffle winners that I'll be directly contacting, and that is a raffle winner for a hat, t-shirt, and a couple bags of coffee.
And a couple Lulu books, too.
And a couple Lulu
Jason
books. We're
Flom's
going to send
Lulu
those out
books
as well.
I don't have them autographed. Somebody signed that. Jason didn't sign these, but I'm sure I can get some.
I'll sign it.
Yeah, I mean, Shay will sign it if you want.
Now, we appreciate you guys being here, and we also want to let you know that if you didn't win the raffle and you still want to be a part of the conservation experience, you can go to our website at vetpaw.org. If you're looking for information, you can email us at info@vetpaw.org. If you're, veteran and you're looking to be a part of the VETPAW team, we do selection courses every year, and it's a pretty long process, but get involved on the website. VETPAW.org will allow you to do that. Anything else I'm missing?
If anybody has time and wants to send thank yous and shout outs to Justin, our team leader in Africa, please do that. He loves the attention. He's probably so pissed. I do want to give a huge thank you to Lynn Westover. This guy has worked his tail off over the past few days to get this live streaming stuff together. It is not easy to do, and you'd think it would be with where today's technology is, streaming everything together. It's not. We call him the Sherpa, and this is why, because he can do anything. And so thank you, Lynn, for that, and also thank you to your wife, Allie, who is 9 months pregnant, for loaning you to us and being so patient. Thanks to my wife as well for being patient over the past couple weeks during these tough times.
What about my girlfriend?
I'll let you thank her then. Go.
All right. Thank you to my girlfriend for being beautiful and amazing and a beautiful mother.
Okay.
Love you.
Okay. Anyways, we're going to keep pushing here. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's contributed to VETPAW. This is, was not an easy, it was a pretty easy decision to leave my job from the U.S. Department of State to create VETPAW. It was an easy decision, but it was a nerve-wracking one, and I couldn't have done it, and we couldn't have done it without all the support that you give us before, that everyone gives us day to day. We are a hand-to-mouth organization. We don't operate off of a big fancy endowment or any of those things. We get it done. I'm a proud Marine, and I always say we do the most with the least in the Marine Corps, and that's what VETPAW does as well. But thanks to your support, we're continuing on, and I appreciate every single one of you that took time out of your day to support us.
And thank you, Alpha Coffee.
Thank you to Alpha Coffee. Go get yourself some Task Force Rhino on Alpha Coffee, on the Alpha Coffee website. There it is. Boom. That's actually where it should be. It's backwards, but there it is. You got the VETPAW stamp on the top.
Some proceeds, $2 from that bag will go towards VETPAW, and also if you buy any other bag from Alpha Coffee, they send bags of coffee to active duty military deployed. So that's
nearly 18,000 bags.
18,000
That's
bags.
not an easy task. It's veteran owned. Their son is in the Army now. Carl's a former lieutenant colonel. Once a lieutenant colonel, always a lieutenant colonel. So we can't thank them enough for hosting us, and we look forward to spreading their message further.
Cool, man.
Day
3, yeah.
I think that's about all we got. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We're just going to shoot out a quick thank you message real quick, and just thank you to everyone. If you got any questions, if we missed anything, we're going to keep doing these, so stand by for that.
Mute the mic. Thanks, guys.
At Veterans Empowered to Protect African Wildlife, we consider it both an honor and a privilege to participate in these global efforts for the conservation and protection of endangered African wildlife species. Without your support, we would not be able to accomplish this mission in the method in which we are able to do so. Myself and the rest of the team would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your support and your donations that allow us to continue the fight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.